One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Hey now, people. Welcome back. This episode of No Simple Road is brought to you by
Shop Tour Bus.
Shop Tour Bus. Hi, Shop Tour Bus fans and friends out there. What are you guys doing? You hanging out? It's Christmas time. You get ready to buy some stuff. You forgot to get a shirt for Uncle Carl or Aunt Sadie?
Everyone here already got their Shop Tour Bus presents ordered and delivered, I hope by now.
How about
but if
New
you
Year's
haven't,
presents?
It's a New Year's present.
Solstice presents.
Mhm.
Yep.
Look,
I
Look, a lot of people are born in
Christmas
January, too.
present that comes like on the 27th.
Yep.
And somebody hasn't told. They're like, by the way, this just came. So
there's always that one person that's like, Christmas Day goes by, and then the next day you wake up and you put on your new shoes or your clothes or whatever it is that you got, and as you're getting dressed, you're like, oh shit, I forgot to get such and so a gift. Well, go to @ShopTourBus on Instagram or shoptourbus.com online, and you can get that person that you forgot to get them a gift something rad. You can get them a Grateful Dead inspired t-shirt or some stickers, a hoodie, something really rad.
Check out that Franklin's Tower design. That one's
or
my
check out
favorite.
that. I'm looking at that St. Stephen's hoodie right now.
That one's also super cool.
Yeah, that one's rad. The St. Stephen design is really rad. Well, it's actually a St. Stephen the 11 if you pay attention
I
to
like
the
the
design.
sky was yellow and the sun was blue.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Sing it, Mel.
I just did.
Okay.
That's all I get.
Yeah, man, and that's going to come to you in that one-of-a-kind Shop Tour Bus style that with the hand-designed box.
For free
Because
shipping.
you're going to put in the promo code NoSimpleRoad, and you too are going to get
Free shipping.
for being part of the No Simple Road family.
Did I say free shipping?
I
Free
think
shipping.
Mel said.
Free shipping.
All right.
I was on it that time.
Yeah.
I got
Hey, I
it.
think
Finally.
you-
Yay.
Everybody out there, all joking aside, they are our longest, strongest, greatest, and most wisest sponsor.
Wisest.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Dang.
And support the family, you guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't got yourself a Shop Tour Bus shirt and you've heard these ads 134 times,
Unless you don't like them, get yourself one.
yeah, hook yourself up. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to take everything I said back or add to everything I said. That's even better. Here's an addendum to my original statement. If you didn't get everything you wanted for Christmas, buy yourself something. Treat yourself. Get yourself a
Yeah.
little Shop Tour Bus gift and say,
With that gift card or
And-
that cash.
yep, and put in the notes when you check out, tell me that I love me. And then they'll put that on the box when you get it. Hey, me, I love you. And you'll have a
That's
gift from yourself.
That's a good note.
Yeah.
That is
It
cute.
is.
So everybody out
You're
there,
beautiful.
Or
Anything.
treat yourself. So when you open it,
Treat yourself.
at Shop Tour Bus on Instagram, Shop Tour Bus online, and get
more than you bargained for.
more
Than you bargained for.
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 And also, I could tell you so many great things about.
Define Premium Cannabis.
I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to make Ryder tell you great things about.
Listen,
Define
What?
guys. I am currently imbibed on libations.
libations. and-
I'm stoned, guys, and it's because of Define Premium Cannabis, because they have only premium cannabis.
You should see Ryder's
I
eyes.
got-
He's so
I'm high-eyed right now.
I got lit earlier from that 6 mil. Is that what that
Yeah,
was?
yeah, 6 mil from Lovely Farms.
That put me out, and you said it was a sativa.
Mel
blend?
came home from
It's-
work and she was all bouncy and dung 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 dung, and then she came out on the porch and smoked a bowl, and I was kind of dozing on the couch, and next thing I know, I wake up and she's next to me like,
Oh, don't even with the snoring, mister.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't even.
Is that
But
that
you know what?
horrible noise I
Define
heard
Premium
downstairs?
Cannabis
No.
may put those snoring.
Yeah, if you're having a problem with
Snoring a bit, yeah.
if you're having a problem
Yeah.
with insomnia, come on over and we'll get you hooked up.
Trying to
with what
catch
you
some
need.
Z's.
Yeah, if you're trying to catch some Z's, come over here and we'll treat your disease.
And they
Or
got-
get some of their edibles.
Hey, that was cute.
I just went and saw a particular movie and took one of their fantastic edibles. What was that, like gourmet
my
chocolate
gosh, that
one?
gourmet
Is that-
chocolate was amazing.
Crop Circle chocolates, which we
Crop
will,
Circle
which we will be
chocolates.
bringing on board at the shop in like the first week of the
That
new
put
year.
me out
Do
last
the
night.
aliens deliver crop circle
Wow.
chocolates?
I bet they do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
y-
for all of your fine, wonderful cannabis needs, such as topicals, edibles, smokables, drinkables,
Dabbables.
vapables, davables,
Wipables.
What? Toothpicks. They don't. I don't know if you guys have toothpicks yet, but they have
Cannabis-
toothpicks. That's
I've
a real
seen
thing.
those, yeah.
Anyway, go visit Define Premium Cannabis
In Hillsboro.
or at Forest Grove and mention that you listen to us. They're going to give you 10% off your order and a free t-shirt. Yeah, they're going to
Yeah.
give you a free t-shirt. And if you happen to go during the week to the Hillsborough location, ask for Apple. He will come out of his chamber and help you.
He actually he levitates out of a cloud.
Well, yeah. Before,
like,
as soon as you say the word apple, a mist comes
all I hear is like
rolling
Jack
in.
Black,
Uh-huh.
like with a strum down, like.
Well, that's fun. I don't own Heelys, but it's like I have. All of a sudden, I just
Yes.
go
It just starts floating through.
Yeah, no,
across
but
the
he'll
showroom
hook you
floor.
up, and we've already had some listeners. So shout out to those of you, you know who you
Yeah,
are,
we've had some
who have come out.
visitors.
But yeah, visit Define Premium Cannabis, and they always have specials during the holidays. So get some for your mother,
Yeah,
for your
we're
sister.
going to be having
your brother.
25% off the day before Christmas.
Are they doing Santa Claus?
Yes.
When are they doing Santa Claus, sir?
Okay,
I
hang on.
guess I should
Everybody
mention
stop.
that.
Hang on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Apple.
The day before Christmas, on the 24th, I will be
Ooh.
dressing up as Santa Claus all day. And I will be handing out gift bags at Hillsborough, and then going over to Forest Grove and handing out gift bags there.
Right
And
on.
check it out, guys. If you've made it this far into the commercial and you're catching this is for you. I'm going to give Apple a bunch of stickers to take with him that day. And if
Oh,
you're a No
snap.
Simple Road listener and you go there to get your picture taken with Santa Claus, say that you're a No Simple Road listener and you'll get some
You'll get a
NSR
sticker.
swag
I'll
along
put
with your
stickers all
stuff.
over you.
Yep. So Hillsborough, Forest Grove,
Okay.
Define Premium Cannabis. Take care of your head.
Take care of your head.
So check this
Be
out.
quiet.
There's
Hey now,
no
Simple Road
no,
family.
we're not there yet.
We're not.
No,
Why
we haven't
not?
gotten there yet.
Yeah, it didn't.
What?
It didn't feel like that.
It wasn't. That's not what's happening.
What's going on?
I'm driving the train. Just everybody relax.
So many things are happening.
there's
Do
things
you
happening.
even need us here?
Yeah, you really do. So
All right.
we are part of this amazing Osiris podcast network, and I think I talked about this the last time we did the show. I'm not sure,
What?
but that Osiris and No Simple Road are
Yes.
basically the same age, and it's really cool to see all the stuff that's happening with Osiris. The jam just happened, where the last one was in New York City, and Scotty Metzger and I think it was Aaron Magner, and God, I can't remember everybody that got together and jammed and then did a podcast after the show. That's happening, and then there's a bunch of new podcasts coming out, and the trailer for Freak Flag Flying came out on the 19th. And what that is, it's David Crosby podcast. So I wanted you guys to know about it because it's going to feature David in conversation with his friend and author Steve Silberman. And it's interviews that cover everything from David's earliest musical relationships with legendary peers like Bob Dylan, Jerry Garcia, Jefferson Airplane, and Steely Dan, plus his years with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. And it's a limited series that Osiris is doing, and it launches on Monday, January the 6th. And you can also listen to the trailer and subscribe at osirispod.com/freakflag. So that's the first thing that's happening.
Hell yeah.
What's the other thing that's happening?
The other thing is this is the 20th anniversary of Fish's Big Cypress Festival that they did down in Florida, where they actually constructed a city in the Everglades and shut down the freeways.
I like where this is going.
So this podcast is called After Midnight, and the Osiris podcast After Midnight celebrates the anniversary with 5 episodes about the creation and execution of the biggest Millennium concert on Earth. Episode 4 is out now and focuses on the lead up to midnight with mishaps and great stories, and ends with the legendary, check this out, 7-hour set that Fish played from just before midnight until
Only
sunrise
Fish.
on January 1st, 2000.
Just explain what they mean by built a city.
So they never got off stage for 7 hours.
7 hours.
They held in their poop
There's
and their
so
pee.
much.
I
And
mean,
there's-
I'm sure during a jam tray,
And
There's gotta be
there
a
was
s-
set breaks.
Okay.
And stuff wasn't there.
I don't
I'm
know
sure.
about that.
I'm sure
So
they
that
had
clearly-
to have set
Well,
breaks.
we'll find out.
So
Yeah,
you need
you
to
know
listen
what?
after
Go
midnight.
listen to
Yeah.
episode 4.
Yeah, we need to listen to it.
So go to osirispod.com/after midnight if you want to listen to that. And last but not least is Let Creativity Flow. And that is sponsored by Splice. And it's a 3-episode series exploring the evolution of music and technology through the eyes of artists, music industry professionals, entrepreneurs, and journalists. So this show explores the fall of industry gatekeepers like record labels and how musicians use technology to create hits and the future of music creation and collaboration. Let Creativity Flow features interviews with John Barber, who we just talked to today, and Aaron Magner of the Disco Biscuits, Steve Martosi of Splice, Andy Weissman of Union Square Ventures, and more. So you can go to osirispod.com/creativity to check out the new show, which premiered on Monday, November the 18th. Check it out and support all the shows on the Osiris Podcast Network.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Osiris.
Hi, I'm Richard the Rastafarian from Fear of a Craft Beer Planet, a podcast that talks a lot about the parallels between the beer industry and the music business. But really, we talk about whatever we want. The show is made up of 4 of us. Me, Richard the Rastafarian, the radio guy, Jay Rose, Ryan Egan, and Rob Forzik. They're the beer guys. They're the ones that teach me about craft beer, and I'm the one that gets the show on the air. You can find us on all social media platforms at Fear of a Craft Beer Planet.
I don't know what to say now. I'm like,
No, that's a weird
Yeah.
segue. You're welcome for not having you guys listen to the rest of that.
But welcome back, everybody.
hey
Yeah.
now, No Simple Road family. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of No Simple Road Christmas Time Edition.
Christmas
Yeah,
time.
this is-
Yeah,
this is our-
This is the
Christmas episode?
I wish
Well,
I
this
had
is the
bells
22nd.
that could, like, ching, ching, ching,
Yeah,
ching.
this is our
This
Christmas
is the
episode.
22nd. And
Everyone
Merry
next
Christmas,
episode
everybody.
will be
Merry
29th.
Christmas, everybody, or solstice, or Hanukkah,
Yeah, whatever.
or Kwanzaa,
Whatever you do.
or Hail Satan,
Or
or
nothing.
whatever it is you
just
want.
sit at home and do nothing. Enjoy yourself.
Merry-
Have fun. I'd add some hot cocoa to it, no matter what you're doing. But
Merry happy wintertime
Things.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is politically inclusive, right? Or well done.
oh, happy day.
All right. So, yeah, I hope everybody out there is well and chilling with their fam and the people they want to be around and feeling warm and cozy on the inside and the out.
Or if you're listening to us as a break to get away from people you have to be around and don't want to be around, welcome.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You can
It happens.
choose your family, and that
Choose
is
your
where we get
adventure.
hashtag
A
found
little
family.
sanctuary.
Is that what we are?
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Yes.
Yes.
We're like
We're-
Sanctuary City.
Yeah, we're like that place that you can run away to where everybody just gets you. Everybody knows your name.
Is that
Yeah,
copyright?
that's
Are we
Cheers.
gonna
I'm
struggle with
old.
that?
Play, kind of like Cheers. You know?
Yeah.
Where everybody knows your name.
Everybody knows
Wow, you
Cheers.
guys.
Bum, bum, bum.
So
Always glad you came.
this week's episode
You
of
wanna
No
be
Simple
where
Road
people are.
features
Troubles
Scott
are all the same.
Amendola of
You wanna
Amendola
go
versus
where
Blades.
Everybody knows your name.
Picture those words in the Cheers
Scott
font underneath. Everybody sitting at the bar.
Okay.
Amendola.
Wow.
This is the musical edition.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas time,
It's
guys.
a Christmas musical edition.
What?
Before we continue the episode,
Oh, you should
I-
see the conductor's arms.
I want to say a very
Conductor.
special thank you to our friend, brother, member of the No Simple Road family, Kevin Calabro.
Kevin comes through always.
We love you, man. Thank
love
you for making this
Merry
happen.
Christmas, Kevin. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays.
We already did this.
Yeah, you did that.
Not only to Kevin though.
That's fair.
Also,
Oh,
you know
all
what?
right.
Speaking of Kevin, too, did we mention on last week's episode, like, thank you so much for, we went to see Marco Benevento.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
no, we didn't
Kevin.
mention that.
See,
Yeah.
Kevin deserves his own special thing.
Yeah, that was sold out.
what we're
Kevin
doing.
got us on the guest
Kevin.
list, and we had a great time seeing Marco.
Yep.
And
It was a blast.
It was
yeah.
a fun time.
Marco is
Showman.
a showman and a very unique talent, man.
yeah.
Somebody, if you just know him from J-Rad, go see him live on his own. It's a completely different, cool, amazing, trippy thing that he's doing. And you may have heard some of the music in the beginning of the shows of No Simple Road under the ads and stuff. And that's just like, with any band out there right now,
Any musical.
it's
something.
so different when you see them live that when you listen to it recorded. It's even I'm noticing even listening to somebody live, like a recorded live show, is different than seeing that particular show live.
Well, you
Yeah.
miss out on the literal energy of the place that they stir up when they play. There's a certain something that happens when they walk on and it's like, yeah, like everybody's up, and then or the right before they come on the stage when you're like anticipating it, and the music and in the background goes down, and then everybody's like, ooh, they're gonna come on, and then the lights get dim and they come on. It's like there's all this anticipation and excitement and energy that's kind of like ready to go, and then boom, and it's something to experience.
There's also like the anticipation of like the whole night. Like you're not just like, oh, I pulled it up and now I'm looking at it, or oh, I'm listening to it now. Like you buy the ticket, you
There's
wait
the
for the
build,
date,
the journey,
and then you
get
go
in
in
there.
the
Buy
car,
the
and
ticket,
you
take
go,
the ride. That's one thing I love about listening to live shows that I've been to, though. Like, just an example is listening back to the Fish show that we went to at the Gorge in 2018. Was that 18? That, like, Caspian, Piper.
I don't think I've listened to that show back.
Listening back to that run of songs makes me re-feel the feeling of standing there.
That's true. When I hear certain concerts we've been to, it does the same thing.
And that, I think, was one of, not the reason, but one of the big reasons that Deadheads traded bootlegs. And there was like, at least for me, when I was trading bootlegs, I would always try and get the shows that I went to for that reason, because there was psychedelic experiences that happened at that particular show that I wanted to relive by listening to it again. And there was no internet back then to just, I'll bring up this show right now wherever I am. You know, you had to trade for the bootleg.
Had to do some legwork.
Yeah. So that's a thing, man. It's a trip. So yeah, Kevin, the point of all of that, I don't know how we got all the way down that rabbit
Thank
trail.
you for bootlegs, Kevin.
Thank you for making us able to go to that show. That was super cool.
Thanks
And
for
we
always
appreciate
sending
you, man.
amazing talent our way and
thanks
being a sweetheart.
Thanks for being in our corner.
Yep.
Thank you for being a friend.
Okay, that's enough singing. This
Nope.
is not.
It's a Christmas
this is
episode.
not a
Christmas
musical
Christmas
Why
episode.
not? Why? I thought you said there's no rules.
There's no rules. Do what you want. I'm just saying.
Travel down the road and back again. Okay, I've done this before. So I will stop.
So this being a Christmas episode, I think it is only, what's the word I'm looking for?
Fitting?
Fitting. Thank you, Mel. I was going to say prudent, but fitting is the word I was looking for. Only fitting
That also works.
that we talk about our favorite things about Christmas.
Santa?
No, we're not
Well,
going
I
to
mean,
talk about you.
that's probably his favorite thing about
I know
Christmas.
Santa.
You know, him being Santa and all.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Mel,
What?
what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Is it Santa? Oh, sorry.
Well,
Less and less every time you say it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I like that everybody gets to stay home.
That's cool.
I love that. I love having a day where we have I don't know, some awesome breakfast, barely eat lunch, but there's food smelling throughout the house all day because we're cooking, stuff's in the oven, and getting ready and waiting for people to come. And I like the togetherness aspect of Christmas.
That's a good one. I didn't think that doesn't happen a lot. That happens
No.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
A couple times throughout the year when
it's
it just
special.
happens.
Totally.
Yeah,
Brighter?
that's a good thing.
I mean,
Apple?
here I'll say for you, Apple. It's Santa. It's not Santa. It's it's as much as I love Christmas Day, I think it's everything else besides Christmas Day. It's like the lead up. And people hate when they hear Christmas music in October. I love that shit. Just the the Christmas creep. The closer you get, the more anticipation there is. Everyone's like,
You are
this
the
weird
Christmas
I am the Christmas
Right.
It's
Apple
like the
Santa
Christmas air.
and Ryder's the Christmas creep.
Yeah. Nope. No,
Hair
but
of the
like,
Wolf, you can draw that for us, man.
Sure, do it. Actually, that
Christmas
sounds
creep.
Ryder
He's
the
got a
Christmas
hunchback
creep.
for sure.
Yes, for sure. Actually, I have a picture downstairs
What
I can
hump?
give you. But no, it's like everyone gets real stressed because of the
Expectations.
yeah, but the general attitude towards mankind gets kinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
People
true.
are more giving and generous and soft.
People lighten up a little bit.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful time. Like the trees literally light up. Everyone decorates their houses.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful, and there's a certain kind of coziness to it. It's my favorite.
All right. Apple.
Is it Santa?
No. No, to me, kind of like what Ryder said. It's always it's the tradition of it. It's the music. It's the movies. It's it's all that. In fact, last night I watched because to me it's not Christmas until you watch A Christmas Story, the Red Ryder BB gun. That's what I fell asleep to last night. I just love that movie.
I haven't seen it yet this year.
Yeah, and then the other night this year, like I waited. Like the tradition thing to me too is Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, like singing Christmas stuff.
Did you know that Captain Picard played Ebenezer Scrooge?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, he played it on stage too.
Yeah, I knew
think.
that.
Like,
I didn't know there was a
plays.
movie.
There's a movie.
There's
I
a movie?
didn't know. I was walking out of work the other day, and it was on, and I was like, "Wait, is that Captain Picard playing?"
Tell you what, I'm
Is
not
it an
thankful
old
for is
movie?
being interrupted in
I'm
the middle
sorry.
of my Christmas.
Go ahead.
I
spirit
also
speech.
really like. No,
And that's why we don't have drinks at the table.
it was
Anyway.
empty.
I'm just kidding. No, that's it. It's the tradition thing, no matter what. And you guys have all helped bring that back a lot. I haven't really celebrated Christmas in quite a long time, other than coming over to your guys' house in Vegas and stuff. And since we've been up here, it's been like best Christmases since I was a kid, living at home with my mom, having my sister around, still all that. And so it's just the whole tradition, everything about it. Our cookie party.
Yeah, that's
Just,
a rad
you know.
tradition.
Yeah.
And it is, and everybody. I'm at a point. It's like I love the holidays, but I can't wait till they're over. But then when they're over, it's like, it's a relief, but they're gone, and it's sentimental.
It's weird.
And, yeah.
And you, Aaron?
Is it Santa?
It's not.
It's really so. I'm
Presents.
I grew up.
But like when people give me
Presents.
Talk about interrupting.
okay, so when you interrupt somebody,
And
it
my
cuts off their
favorite
train
thing
of
is-
thought.
I grew up in a Jewish family that celebrated both Hanukkah and Christmas. So
I remember that when
Yeah.
when we met when we were kids.
too.
It was fun going over to his house. I go over there and get like lasagna and matzo ball soup.
Yep.
that's
The
the
same,
truth. That
same
happened.
his mom would serve me up. Like she's like, "What do you want?" It'd be like,
A little bit of both.
And it was always like a really high stress time of year. On my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family was non-committal at best, having to do with Hanukkah, and but having my own family made me create my own traditions. Like we carried over the pajamas on Christmas Eve thing. I dig that a lot. Like we all get pajamas on Christmas Eve,
It's a good tradition.
Yeah, I like that.
and
It's a comfy tradition.
the cookie party. That's something that we carried on, and other little things.
Ditch the stress on that one too.
Yeah, man. And so after having my own traditions in my own family, I was more able to form my own feeling around Christmas. And so I think what I dig the best about it is giving gifts to people. I love stoking people out at Christmas time. It makes me...
So
I was telling Mel the other day that, like, even if the thing is a $7 thing and you see that person using that thing throughout the year, you're like, fucking nailed it. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I stoked them out, and they use that thing, and they think of me all the time. Like, I think that, and also, especially since we've been up here, but also in Vegas too, the feeling in the house. There's a certain feeling that happens at Christmas time that's not any other time of the year, and it's the tangible thing. Like in that there's tinsel, and like Ryder said, even the trees are fucking lit up. Like you don't ever have a tree inside your house at any other time of the year.
Well,
not a Christmas
not
tree.
like a full
Yeah.
tree.
You don't
Cut
ever
down
have that.
you don't cut down a tree
That's a
and
rare
bring it inside your
occurrence.
house.
And so everything is different. The vibe of the house is different. And so because the vibe of the house is different, everything feels awesome at Christmas time. And so my answer is a 2-part answer.
So what stresses you out during Christmas?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's it's impossible.
Okay. It used to stress me out coordinating where we were going to go on Christmas, at what time and when. That used to really stress me out. Like, are we going to have enough time to visit my mom's house,
scheduling
my
everything.
dad's house, open presents with the kids? That used to stress me out. But like I said, I like Christmas shopping. I like buying stuff. I am not a shopper. You've been with me a long time. You know that. I check out after a few minutes in a store usually. But at Christmas time, I just wander, and I trip out on everything, and like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Ooh, I don't ever do that. So that doesn't stress me out.
Well, that only happens.
I
this
didn't
time of
ask
year,
what
too.
doesn't stress you out.
I told you nothing. I don't stress out at Christmas time. It's not a stress for me. I really enjoy it. About you, Apple? Does it stress? Anything
What
stress you out?
stresses me out? The traffic and the people. It gets tense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say stresses me out, but it does.
It does. I saw it
annoying.
today.
Uh-huh.
I get how people get.
I drive for a living.
It's one of the fallbacks
bueno.
of everybody is in such a hurry and doing the last minute shopping, like they always say, the hustle and bustle of the
Yeah.
season, and everybody is out in full force.
That's true.
And it's it takes longer to get everywhere, and not like stressed over it, but just the stress is caught by
even
like people.
the energy
Can we
on the
just
road
slow
is
down?
is a lot more stressful because
Yeah,
here most
and
of the
I
year
get
everyone's
upset
super
'cause it's
chill.
Like, just calm down. Just calm down. Why we gotta get like this at the most beautiful time of the year? And to me, that's the thing too. Well, it's not even winter. Well, yeah, it's winter
It's
tomorrow.
today.
Or
Today.
Today's the solstice.
It's my favorite time of year. Always has been. I love winter.
Winter solstice is my favorite day of the
It's
year.
the homey time. It's the chill.
It's
where
the
everybody
coziest day of
congregates.
the year.
It's
Yeah, so
more
the-
than half night.
Just the way people get sometimes.
Okay.
The whole
Ryder?
Money,
consumer-driven thing.
man.
Yeah.
Money. Most stressful thing in the world.
Okay. You're allowed.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to read you the riot act.
I grew up broke, man. It's stressful buying people
Yeah, you
gifts.
can't read the riot act because you were stressed last year until some money showed up.
You
Yep.
Mr. Magic Money.
If you don't have
and then
money
Magic
during
Money
the
again this year.
holidays,
Yeah,
that's
fuck
a
you.
stress.
He doesn't
Yeah,
stress.
yeah, I'm
I
not
know.
worried
I love
about
that
it.
answer. Nothing.
I'm not stressed
Not at
this year.
all.
I am not stressed.
He's 2 years
Until last week.
2 years in a row,
Yeah.
he's gotten Magic Money.
I wasn't stressed before that. I was not stressed this year.
Why are you stressing
I
about us
let-
telling you you're
I
stressed?
let go of that this year because I realized that it doesn't add anything to Christmas. For me, it just makes it more shitty if I do that. And we have what we have. And we all already have everything we need and want. So there's no fucking pressure.
And you have mellowed out. Like when we were in line at Kohl's today, it's weird because a couple of years ago it would have been you complaining and me like being like, chill out, dude. Today I was like, fucking hey.
It's not, we're
Line
not even
hasn't moved
moving.
in like 10 minutes. He's like, so?
It's Christmas.
So what, man? We're in the store.
And I slapped him and said, who are you?
What have you done with Aaron?
I feel like that a lot lately.
Okay. All right. It's not just me.
No, it's not just you.
What stresses you out, Mel?
Not having enough time to make special presents for everybody that I know.
That's fair.
That's cute.
Which
That's a cute
sweet.
stressed
It's
out.
like another giving. I want to give everybody something.
And also getting more presents than other people.
Would you talk about that?
Okay. This is a silly, dumb, like, I guess it's been a childhood trauma for my, I can't remember how old I was, but it was probably like 7 or 8. So, I mean, quite a bit. But one year we were at my aunt, this is when I still lived in New York. So we were at my,
You okay over there?
hold on.
Nope.
I just choked on coffee.
We were at my aunt Elsie's house in upstate New York, and it was a totally magical Christmas. The house was very similar to this. Big windows, like it's upstate, so it was snowing, and big picture window with the tree out the window. Super amazing. And my aunt Elsie's husband was also Jewish, so I was then they both celebrated Hanukkah and Christmas together.
Fred's a mensch.
Yeah. Well, it was a certain Christmas where there was like a lot of people just showed up to the house this Christmas. And I remember my aunt would go up to the tree and she would like grab the present and call everybody's name. And then each one would come up and unwrap their present so everybody could see what they got. And then they'd take a picture and then you'd go sit down, which was actually really cool because then you kind of remember whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, one Christmas I got a lot of presents.
It was like mellow,
like dramatic, like enough to where everybody would notice. And so like my aunt kept calling out my name, Mellow, Mellow. And after a while, like my brother was like really annoyed because he didn't.
Was he not getting?
No, I totally got favored that Christmas with just presents and stuff. And of course I'm happy because I have all these fucking presents and it's rad. But then I like later on, he was like all like pissed off and just kind of like was like, just made fun of the fact that my name kept getting called. So like I always would think Mellow, Mellow, Mellow. And like it was like a negative thing, kind of like.
It embarrassed you.
It was embarrassing. That's what it was.
Too much recognition.
It was embarrassing and shameful to me. Like I felt bad that he didn't get presents and I did like more presents.
Mm-hmm.
And so this year I was like, we're okay this year and we can buy each other presents and stuff. And I was telling Aaron, I was like, don't buy me a lot of presents, because he like sent me a text at work, like pick something out from this website. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like the little kid came back in me and I was like, look, babe, I'm just letting you know that I have this thing from a long time ago. And I told him the story that I just said to you guys. And I was like, and I just don't like it. Like even more presents than the kids. And the kids are the ones that should be getting everything, like it shouldn't be me.
Don't call my name.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Because I got her a bunch of stuff.
I was going to say, if no one does, I'm definitely going to pick up at least one of Mellow's presents.
Well, you know what?
Mellow.
Yeah, totally. I put all of her presents, or most of them, in one box.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
So you're getting one gift.
It was a source of stress and frustration to me because I'd think of ways to try to talk to Aaron about not buying presents for me. Like it would the dialogue in my head.
Told him this?
Mm-mm.
No, it would stress me out.
22 years, dude. I never knew this.
To think about. I'll tell him not to get this. I'll just want, because he'll ask me like, what do you want? And I'll just be like, nothing, which I do say all the time. And later on, I'm like, have all these things that I want. And, and it's just a weird thing that like this year, 2019, I'm just dropping it like a bag of shit because
Fuck yeah,
Cool.
I am getting over that.
Well,
Okay, good, because I got you a 1,000 piece puzzle. And I wrapped each
Wrapped it.
piece
Yeah,
separately.
we spent 6 months wrapping
Melanie,
these.
Melanie,
It was just embarrassing and it freaking sucked. And I felt like I have these two ways I feel about myself. I feel like super proud and like I deserve the recognition and like amazing. And then I feel like who the fuck do you think you are? Like, that's
What
bullshit. Like, there's other people that are
Was it
important.
mostly because you felt bad for the other people? Like other people were?
No, because
I think it was
somebody
embarrassing.
made me feel bad about it.
Oh, okay.
Because my brother made me feel bad about it.
Okay.
I didn't know it was a bad thing when I was getting them until it was after the fact. You know what I mean?
Till
Like,
afterwards.
yeah.
And it was like kind of like.
yeah.
Okay.
So
You know, I realized something this year too about the whole presence thing. First of all, there's a huge stigma about consumerism and
Oh, yeah.
presents and giving.
well,
and
it's
blah,
and it's
blah,
also
blah,
true
blah.
though too.
Totally. But I said it earlier, like, we have everything we need and want as people, this house, family. And so there was no pressure. There is no pressure to do anything. Like, if I got you something, it's because it reminded me of you, or it was something I saw that you could use. And that was it. Like, it wasn't like, okay, I feel like I have to spend $400 on Melanie and $50 on Ryder.
See, I've never felt like that. I want to give people things. But
That's what's
but
nice,
sometimes
too.
I don't
live
have
in a
money.
house.
Yeah,
for it.
financially,
Yeah, like,
it's
and
unaffordable.
that's
We
like,
are a house of givers.
yeah, like
That is
I
nice.
genuinely same. Like, I enjoy the act of giving people cool things, and if money's a problem, I can't.
If money's a problem, you can't what?
No, if money's a problem, then like it's
You can't give how you want to.
You can't give how you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. It's tough. It's a weird fine line between everything at Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I brought it up on purpose because Christmas, a lot of times for people, is a depressing kind of time. And
Suicide spike
Yeah.
and murder spike.
hey,
And
It's a stressful
so does
time.
robbery
Yeah.
and
Rob-
yeah,
yep.
all kinds of stuff spikes.
Oh God,
And
lost my tail again.
but I think what's the moral of my long ass story is Christmas is also a time, and the end of the year is a time about getting rid of old shit that doesn't belong around anymore. Like, I don't even talk to my brother. Like, we don't even have a relationship, and my kids are older. And I was 8. I'm 41. Like, why am I still dragging that ball and chain? Like, there's no need for it. So, like, the end of the year, as you know, instead of making resolutions, why don't you just drop a bunch of shit that you don't like? You know,
Yeah,
like,
I like
don't
that.
make a
Like
don't
take
make
a time for like house cleaning.
yeah,
Don't-
don't make resolutions. Just get rid of the shit that you don't need anymore. That's it.
Adding stuff, it's easier to get rid of bad
Yeah,
stuff.
lighten the
than just
load.
Add
No, it's
another
waiting for
So
fucking.
I'm doing
Mel to
that.
be like, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, here's my list.
The scroll comes out.
It's
22
called
years.
taking a New Year's dump. That's
like
what
Yeah,
that
I
is.
saw a thing earlier. Somebody posted of a tradition where you burn holly on your Yule log, and that it's like a Norwegian thing, and that clears out all your problems for the year. It's
Oh my
like
gosh, I love that.
Yeah, like while you're burning the Yule log, you throw holly on it, and it sparkles and burns and pops and clears the year.
Okay, let's do that Christmas Eve.
Let's do it.
Yep.
I'm down for that, babe.
All right.
I feel sorry for Holly. She was a sweet girl.
Holly is a
Oh.
sweetheart. I work
Holly.
with her, and she's an.
And she also plays a mean piano.
Throw
Yeah,
on the
she
piano or
does.
on the fire. She's like, ah. Okay.
So anyhow,
Don't burn people named Holly.
But Merry Christmas, everybody. Despite how you feel about it, if you love it or hate it, maybe just marry this time of year.
Happy
you know?
Hanukkah starts the 22nd, day the 22nd, day the 23rd.
to
however
all
you
our
look at
members
it.
of the tribe out there.
Yep, that's right.
I think Kwanzaa starts on Tuesday, I believe.
Something like
I'm
that.
not sure, but any holiday that
yep.
we might have left out, happy it.
that thing too.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Like Mel said, I know that this time of year can be difficult for some people, and I just want to say to all of you guys that we're here, and you could spend time with us, and we'll hang out with you, and you can listen to an interview with Scott Amendola, and you can listen to the No Simple Road crew bullshit around the kitchen dining room table, and
Well, they don't know what table we're at.
yeah, and
to the dining room.
and you guys, just for those of you that are paying attention to the sound quality of the show, the last few shows have been inside the house. We haven't been out on the porch because it's been cold
and wet.
rainy,
We
and
can do the cold, but when the rain
When it's wet,
coming
yeah.
up on the patio, there's just no.
yeah,
way
there's
to
too
do
much
it.
equipment to get wet. So.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So yeah, we're coming to you from the Chapel Day pad.
And thanks for another year, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get to this at our year end.
Yeah, we're doing a recap.
But thanks for spending the year with us. Thanks for listening to the shows. Thanks for being
Another year.
a part of our muse.
Yeah.
You guys-
I won't be on the recap episode because I will be gone already. So yes.
Oh yeah, you'll be in Israel.
I will be on my way to Vegas, but yes. So yes, thank you guys for a cool, dope year. Everything that you guys have sent in, all the things you guys have let us done, so appreciated. And
Shout out to Helen
our
Zazcorp
our life would not be the same without you guys.
Thank you for the wonderful Christmas card, Helen. It
And
was
Sam.
Super dope. And Sam.
Thank
yeah,
you,
you guys.
Sam.
Thank you for the card. I love the Zapucki family sending us that card of them sitting in the VW van and their kid is sitting in the little
I
mini
didn't
VW
see it
van.
yet.
It's over on the fireplace.
Oh, I'll have to go look.
Yep.
That at the end of this Christmas holiday, whatever season, that's been one thing that's really come up a lot in our social media. I know you guys don't do it, so you don't see this, but like the No Simple Road family, like all the people that we are in contact with constantly have really shown a presence lately and done stuff and reposted and all that stuff.
And all the people
appreciate
that have been our street team, man. Thank you,
So-
guys and gals. And
So you know what? It's gonna take me a second because my computer is acting super funky and weird right now. But I'm gonna shout out each and every one of you guys that joined the street team, and that's a good way to segue us into the business. But
Yeah.
if you want to join the street team, what that means is you send me an email at info@nosimpleroad.com, and I will have some print work done, some flyers, and have them sent to your house. And whenever you go to a show or you go to somewhere you think that there'll be other people that would dig No Simple Road, you bring those flyers with you and you make friends and you tell people about the show. And it's super fun. So if you want to do that, like I said, you can go to info@nosimpleroad.com, shoot me a little note, send me your address, and I will hook you up. And the No Simple Road mycelial layer will spread throughout the country and the world. We haven't gotten any requests from overseas yet. And I see in our analytics that you guys are out there in Japan and the UK and Germany and all over Europe. So I would love to get some of you out there to do that for us. That would be super cool. Just think about No Simple Road flyers tripping around Europe.
Yeah.
That would be really neat.
Japan. If you do it, you gotta take a picture and send it. That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what else? If you are into No Simple Road and you want to get yourself some merch, you can go to our website at www.nosimpleroad.com and click on the gear tab. We have shirts and hoodies and a couple different kinds of t-shirts and hoodies up there that you can get. And also, if you want to sign up for the newsletter, you can also sign up for the No Simple Road newsletter over there too.
I think he's going to ask the same thing. What, could you get the coffee cups yet? Or you got that one that's bitching?
I just got one, man. I don't know.
We're testing.
I have a weird feeling about that.
¿Por qué?
I don't know. You guys out there, tell me what you think.
Yeah. Let's put it out to them.
I got one coffee cup made because my coffee cup broke, right? And it's the Bertha design with the No Simple Road across the eyes. And I was going to put them up on the website, and then I had second thoughts. I was like, is this getting cheesy?
I think it's super cool.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
But,
if listeners want to respond to that, because I think it's super cool too.
You should make
If
an Insta
something
post
I
about
love, yeah, I want it on a coffee cup or
okay.
a cup or a T-shirt or.
You should ask Instagram too.
All right, I'll do a yes or no on Instagram. So yeah, that is
Let's ask
all
the Magic 8
going on at nosimpleroad.com. Plus the
Is it all, like, who cares if we're cheesy?
I don't know. I just don't want to.
We are a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Who
cares? Like
I'm
us
a
wearing our
cheesy- I'm a
shirts
cheesy
together, all those things.
I don't. Okay, cheesy is the wrong word. I just want to have integrity in everything that we do, and I don't want to sell things just for the sake of selling things.
I agree with
But we're
that.
not.
But
We're only selling
think
it if
that
people buy it.
people who listen to No Simple Road know that you love coffee. They know how much you love hoodies. And also it's our logo. So
True that.
any of the stuff that you put on, you're already attracted to. So it's not going to be cheesy or too much unless you come out of left field and maybe like golf club fucking socks or
Golf
something.
balls and
Yeah, like that's a little
bags.
overkill. But
Don't even know
you
Simple
know,
Road
a
ball
coffee
bag.
mug that's
That'd be
got
kind
No
of
Simple
on there.
Road while you listen to No Simple Road.
And
That's
it's,
cute.
And
That
it's
is-
a
you're
choice.
right.
It's like an option. It's not like if we put them out there, you have to buy
Yeah,
one.
nobody's got to buy shit.
True. So getting
But I
back,
think you should.
getting back to where I was at, I'm going to shout out everybody that's done the street team so
Yeah.
far. Dave K,
Yeah.
Kate S,
KS.
John B,
John
Oh,
B.
Johnny B.
Steve B,
Steve
Stevie.
B.
Joe C,
Joe C.
Josie.
Rain R,
Raynar.
Jared D,
Aw, Jared.
Laura C,
Laura C.
Laura B,
Laura B.
and Diane B.
And
Diane B. Look at that.
There's a lot of B's and C's.
Yeah.
You guys, you are the
You're our street team.
extended
that's-
tentacles of the mycelial layer
Hell
of
yeah.
No Simple Road. You are the neural network that is spreading the fabric of the show throughout the country.
You're our ABCs.
Yeah.
You really are. our
That's
ABC.
Yeah.
freaking rad.
We love you
ABC.
guys.
Thanks for
Speaking
exposing the show.
of love and
Aw.
exposing the show to all of our Patreon members out there. We love you guys.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Aw,
We appreciate
Merry
each and every
Christmas,
one of you.
everybody.
Merry Christmas, you guys. And
Ho, ho.
for those of you that are interested in supporting No Simple Road financially, go to patreon.com/No Simple Road, and you too can become a Chan donator
Shando
It'd be
For
a really,
low,
really,
low
really
dollars.
cool Christmas present.
for the low price of $1 cute a month. You too can become a Chan donator and feel good about spreading love throughout the universe.
Yeah.
Spread love, be love.
Yeah, man. Do that. Patreon.com/No Simple Road. And then all the other stuff, Facebook and Instagram. Follow us on Instagram and go to the Facebook
Reddit.
group and the Reddit and the Discord
Discord.
channel and all the other things. And that,
Go to Apple iPads. Give us
Oh.
a 5-star review.
Yep,
love
go to
Apple.
Apple iPads.
Apple.
Apple, you don't want to go to Apple iPads.
Go
I
to
mean, if you
Apple
have an
iPads.
iPad, you can go to an Apple iPad, but you don't have to do that.
I'm at Apple Podcasts.
Oh, Apple Podcasts. Got it. Okay, thanks.
I know
Apple.
not what I say sometimes.
You get
I think
confused.
you guys know this.
None of us do.
All right. So, yeah, you can go to Apple Podcasts. We would appreciate it. That's something you can do for the show that doesn't cost a single red cent. And it helps us go up in the rankings. It helps other people find out about the show.
Yeah.
And you will have done something in the spiritual realm.
Well, it's just like their street team on the airwaves.
It totally is.
And plus,
Thank
it
you.
gives us a little happy boost.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
always
not
get
the
a little giddy.
street.
But
It's the
It's
digital
the
street.
digital street
Mhm.
team.
So if you want to join the digital street team,
Cute.
go leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We would appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. We
All
just
right.
made that up, and you guys can be a part of it.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And you know what?
Feliz Navidad.
I'm taking it back. I'm going to say Merry Christmas. I know I'm Jewish.
So
It's
what?
okay to say Merry Christmas to people.
You
You
say
don't
Happy
have to
Hanukkah,
say
too.
happy
Are you
holidays.
saying
Well,
that
but-
for yourself?
Yeah,
everybody-
for everybody.
everybody.
It's frowned upon
But
to say
no.
Merry Christmas these days.
It's frowned upon to say anything
I
these
know.
days. So
Yeah,
say
like-
what you
it's not
want.
frowned upon in
I
this
hope you have
household.
a very nice non-denominational holiday season.
Listen, I'm
I-
out in people's homes all the time. No one really cares.
I work with the public, and I say both.
Yeah,
All right.
I will
I've even
exclusive.
heard
I'll
people
use them.
at Starbucks say it now. I think
Yeah.
that I think people might be getting over
Well,
that.
shit, if
slowly but
Starbucks
surely.
is doing it, then it's okay.
Well, and that was like the biggest thing for a while. Like people were like, oh, they're not saying Merry Christmas on their coffee
Oh yeah,
cups.
oh yeah, the whole coffee cup thing. Like, oh my gosh, don't we have more important things?
We have way more important things like an interview with Scott
We
Amendola.
do have an interview on this
Wow.
one.
And you guys are gonna listen to Apple and Aaron take care of this one because both Ryder and I were at work.
They're very, very busy.
Mhm.
Yep.
So-
Very busy
Busy.
And
people.
this was fun. You
I
guys got to
can't
go
wait.
check them out.
Yeah.
One last thing before we go.
Oh,
Everybody out there, get your tickets for Skull and Roses Fest.
Yeah.
Go to
Oh.
nosimpleroad.com or skullandroses.com and pick yourself up some passes because it's going to be the baddest, coolest,
Just look at that
most
lineup,
dope
guys.
festival on the planet, and we're going to be there hanging out, and you should come spend 4 days with the No Simple Road family, grooving and dancing and boogieing to Grateful Dead music.
Yep.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you Scott
Amendola
Amendola from Amendola versus Blades.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil Story Made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Honestly, I don't think you were ever born. I think you just came into existence. One day there was no Apple with a glass of tea in his hand that's super loud, and then boom, there he was.
His bean.
You were a bean.
Yep, magic bean.
That's cool. You were birthed out of your own navel.
Magic bean.
Like I don't. Who was birthed out of their
birth to myself?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Santa Claus did give birth to himself.
I guess so.
Did you know that the myth of the flying reindeer and the sleigh and all that was because of the tribesmen up there drinking the urine of the reindeer that were eating the Amanita muscaria mushrooms?
And then tripping.
Yep. And
the reindeer flying. No, they're not.
No, that's Santa Claus, man.
No, eats more poop.
No, they drank pee, not poop.
Oh.
Were you listening? You weren't even listening
I was
to my
halfway listening.
Come on, man. I know you're hungover, but... You ready? You want to call Scott?
Let's call Scott.
Okay, we're going to call Scott. Let's do it. Here we go. See what happens. It's ringing. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Scott.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, man?
All right, how are you?
I'm great, brother. This is Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Welcome to No Simple Road. And
then you've got Apple here today, too. And thank you for joining us, Scott.
Right on. How's it going?
It's going good, man. We're sitting outside on the porch having some coffee and talking to the great Scott Amendola. I like the laugh, man. You know, when I talked to Kevin about getting you on the show, I really started digging into the music that you guys make. And I got to say, man, it is singular and amazing.
Yes.
Oh, man. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You know, what really first grabbed my attention, and I think it's probably the same for most people that check you guys out, is there's only 2 of you.
Right.
You know, and I come from an improvisational music world, you know, and I'm so used to the at least 4 people setup, or 3, you know, but to have a setup with just the 2, was it something that was born out of an idea, like, let's see if we could pull this off, or was it something different?
Well, I have a history of playing in duo setting. So for me, it wasn't like a new territory in that sense. And having played with Charlie Hunter for many years, what I don't think a lot of people might not have known a while ago is that when Charlie and I first met, we actually did a lot of duo gigs. And, you know, Charlie essentially, especially back then, was trying to be an organ player. I remember him and John Medeski like talking about this when we toured together. He'd be like, Charlie's like, man, I'm trying to be you. And Medeski would be like, well, I'm trying to be you.
Right.
You know? So there was a comfortable place I've always had. Well, also, my grandfather, who was a guitar player, when I was a kid, often we played together in duo. So I wasn't like that. That setting to me was very comfortable and wasn't ever intimidating. Now, when you think about the organ and you think about all the sounds you can get out of it and where you can go with it, if you've, you know, listened to a lot of organ music, it's pretty vast. Like, there's a lot of places it can go. And then when I met Wil and saw what he was interested in and where he was heading and what he could do and what he wanted to do with the organ, I thought, and I had this idea to do the Far East Suite in duo. And, you know, Wil has the sensibility to think in layers. He, you know, if you can take your instrument and you can think big and small, then there's a lot that can happen in a night with, I mean, as fewer many people as you have.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So the excitement about duo also, especially with an instrument that plays harmony and melody like the organ or the guitar, for example, but really the organ, and then drums, is that for the person who's playing that harmonic instrument that's leading the music in that way, there are no limitations to where they can go and what can happen. And if you're an improviser, then it really frees you up and frees the music up in a really interesting way.
Right.
It's not about playing a lot of notes or anything. It's about the possibilities of musical shifts. And Wil is someone who brings some really interesting stuff to the organ as a jazz player, but also he listens to a lot of, funk and soul and hip hop. And so we're like able to think in layers and think we can get dense and thick, but we can also get really small if we want to, so with that musicality, it's like super fun for me. That's what I love. And then also the other thing was when I proposed that we do this project, he was totally game for it. So
you're like, you're ready to do it, man. Let's do it. And finding somebody that's down to explore like that is amazing.
Yeah. And the finding somebody part is really that we were introduced by this mutual friend, and it just was that thing of like, hey, we need to play music together. It was like we kind of found each other in that way that you're lucky to find people that you really connect with musically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like doesn't happen a lot but when it happens, it really means something. It's like then you start. Hopefully you can really work. And, for us, it was like that.
Well, yeah. And it's like that when you meet people. There's people that you meet and they're acquaintances that you just know. And then there's other people that you meet that, like, the second you meet them, there's a deeper thing going on. And hopefully you both recognize it at the same time. And then if you're musicians, then something beautiful can come out of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
It's amazing to hear you guys to watch the live performances and to hear you, because it's very I guess it's like playful. It's like a back and forth, and it looks on your faces, and as a listener, I have no idea where you're going to go. Probably a lot like you guys, improvisation. It's like, whoa, what? We were just listening to a few tracks before we called you up, and it's just like we're looking at each other like, well, okay, you can go that way. So it is very unique.
One of the other things that struck me about you two is your setup too, because, and I never really thought about it. It just seemed normal that a band sets up facing the crowd, but you guys are set up facing each other.
Yeah, we like to do that. We like to, I think the thing about playing music for me, is that when I'm playing music, I want to bring everybody into what's happening. I want, whoever I'm playing with, I want to have eye contact with and be connected on stage. But I want to bring the audience in. And there's a when you set up like that and you sort of create this environment, you're kind of like I think for me, and hopefully it's translating that way. It's like letting people into what's about to happen and witness this thing that me and Wil are doing, and then sort of be brought into the fun of that. You know what I mean? It's like, because I've always had this idea of, I think about this a lot about like playing gigs where, and I know there's bands that do this, a lot of bands that do this, where you set up in the middle of the floor and you just are surrounded with people. I've done it before. And that's really fun when you're like, so for me, like we have this like play on the verses thing, it's like this, it's just our sort of like jokey relationship, how we're kind of, as Wil says, it just, the name of the band is just about how ridiculous we are. You know what I mean? To sort of like, it was just really easy for us to be like, let's just face each other. It was like, okay, great, cool. You know? And I really do always want the audience to just be a part of what's happening with us. And and we're focused on each other, but we're playing for everybody in the room. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense.
Totally. Coming from the Grateful Dead world and the jam world, to me, when I go see music, it's less of a seeing it happen, and it's more participating with the thing that's happening. And that, I think, like you said, really comes across with you guys, because it's such an intimate thing to see two people that are faced on a stage, facing each other, and then the energy that comes from that, we're not as much hearing it as participating in the flow of what's happening with you.
Right. That's the magic of it, right? It's like when, we could all do whatever art it is. We could do it for ourselves. And there's plenty that do, but I could just sit in my studio and play here and have friends come over. But when we go out to play, like we go out on the road, it's really about that connection. It's really about, it's like, people say like bringing music to the people, but it's kind of like we're all coming together, we're bringing the music, but we need the audience to sort of make it that magic thing. And and I know, so that's always been important to me. It's something that I remember at a really young age having discussions with musicians about it, about like, oh, well, we're here, we're here for the audience. It's like, yeah, but we are. But if we don't focus on each other and make this music as good as we can make it, we're doing a huge disservice to the audience.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's a trip to me, because jazz, excuse me 1 second. Sorry.
Sure.
Jazz always seemed to me like the musician's music. Because as playful as it can be, as fun as it can be, it can also be extremely technical and serious. And it always astounded me with players like you guys, your history, like what drew you to jazz music and doing what you're doing? What was the impetus, the genesis of it for you?
I think it's in my DNA. I think, there's a couple things. First of all, I do believe that I was born an improviser. I'm just, when I play music and I sit behind the drums and I'm with people, I think about the music that we're playing and I want to play that music, but I want to put my own voice into it. And I like the idea of music going places. And my grandfather, who I mentioned earlier, was a guitar player in New York City, and he was a really heavy jazz guy, like who was a session guy, was on TV shows, played banjo in the original Hello Dolly, and made lots of records. He never made his own records, but we would play together, and he had tons of stories about people. He was like a working musician, but like a really heavy. I mean, just to put it in perspective, when Charlie Hunter and I first met, and when we started becoming friendly, we were living next to each other. We like played a little bit, and we were playing music for each other. Like I was like, check this out, and he's like, check that out. So, and he when he tells the story, he's like, yeah, I had this cassette and I put it on. I'm like, he's never going to know what this is. And he starts playing, and I look at him like, that's my grandfather.
Oh shit.
and he like completely flipped out, and he's like, man, I transcribed your grandfather's solo when I was 17. Which is really kind of a trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a record called The Pioneers of Jazz Guitar, and my grandfather's on it. And there's a song called Satan Takes a Holiday, and it's my grandfather and this guy, John Calley. And, well, the really cool thing is that when we started touring and we'd play New York, where my grandfather lived in New Jersey, he would come out and hear us, and they got to meet and talk, and it was, you know what I mean? It was like he got to meet this guy who was playing the stuff that he was. But so I grew up with around. But my grandfather liked when we would play music together. We we'd play standards, but they would be very short. It was not like he didn't like. We talked a lot about this. He didn't like when Coltrane and Miles and like the music started really expanding and solos started getting long. He didn't really like it. He's like, yeah, it's just not my thing. And we would play it, and he goes, you play all that crazy stuff, but I really love it, because I was like into Elvin Jones and Jackie Jeanette and even like Roy Haynes and but I learned a lot about feel and swing, and then I learned about form and sort of the idea of connecting phrases and ideas together just from listening to him and playing with him. But so I grew up with that, with sort of jazz on the mind, but I also listened to, I loved, and I still love, like AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and
Right.
and then pop music and, soul music. And then I discovered Zigaboo and the Meters and African music and Tony Allen. And one of the things about jazz, I was thinking about this today, was that I was actually listening to a podcast earlier on my drive, was, this guy mentioned that, there's a sort of certain vocabulary and a certain thing that jazz musicians know and they have to know.
Right.
And, and it's true, as you're coming up and you learn certain standards and things like that. But for me, it's I've always wanted to go beyond that. And that's why for Wil and I, it's so great, because we think we have this really broad idea of music. So it's labeling something jazz these days is kind of tricky, because what is jazz and does it really matter? And it's so I'm an improviser that likes, jazz is part of the whole picture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
language is so small. It really is. It's difficult to even use it to describe a lot of things. And coming from my background, I wonder too, the Dead they were kind of to me, the punk rock band of the 60s. They were raw and dirty and DIY and kind of did their thing. And then when psychedelics came on the scene, it exploded their sound. And they started experimenting and going with the music. But jazz was already doing that. Coltrane was around. Miles Davis was doing his thing. Sun Ra, all those guys were out there already doing that. Do you think that psychedelics has been one of those things that's heavily influenced that world?
Yeah. I mean, I want to say also that if you think about the Dead and you think about what the music that they were listening to at the time and what was happening, they were listening to that music, they were listening to jazz and stuff like that. And then I absolutely think that psychedelics opened up the music and brought a thing for them and for some people in terms of just experimenting. And it's experimenting. I mean, I've actually played this year. I played with Phil a few times, and it was really fun.
Right.
And really, I so enjoyed it because he loves music so much. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he's a guy who, when he's playing, he's thinking in these sort of long phrases and he's improvising. There's songs and there's when you're playing certain songs, I mean, their catalog, their sort of catalog of songs is pretty wide in terms of what they do. And, I think that for them, I mean, sometimes I think, man, I should have been born in this, and around in the 60s in terms of to experience that, because I feel like I'd connect with that time and that music, all the music, you know what I mean? That was happening. I guess, I mean, it was just an expansive time for so many things culturally,
Right. And I wonder too, like I said, guys like Sun Ra and
mm-hmm.
Miles Davis and Coltrane, you never really hear if that was something that they were into, but I mean, I guess you don't need that to find that space in music, but when you listen to it, it sure sounds to me
to be present.
Yeah, it's man.
Yeah.
Bringing other people into what you and Wil are doing when you guys made the new album, mm-hmm. and you had other players come in like Ciro Baptista, and is it difficult for you to to allow other people into your space like that, or is it something that just adds to it for you?
Well, I think that that's just about common language, and for us, I've known Jeff Parker since the late '80s. I've known Skerrick all since like the early '90s, and Will's played a lot with Skerrick. And Ciro I've known only for about 6 years or so, when he started playing with the Nels Cline Singers. But we're all coming from this place of the same place in terms of how we feel about music. So it does change our role because you have 5 people versus 2. Okay. But everybody's an ensemble person. Everybody's thinking in terms of the greater good of the music in the band. So it's in that sense, it's really easy to bring those people in. And we had a vision of what we wanted to do with this record, in terms of their contributions and where we wanted their contributions. When we started writing, our thing was like, all right, let's write with the idea that we're going to use the studio a little more for overdubbing and make a different record than the first record we put out, and think of these 3 guys and think of where they fit for some of the records, still like making us the sort of focus of the record, but bringing in these other voices that we really love and who we've played with before. So over the course of writing, we talked about, oh yeah, we should have Jeff here and we should have Skerrick here, and then we just decided just to send Ciro everything and then see what he did do with it, and give him. I talked to him a bit about a few things, like a little direction, but ultimately, he had all these amazing ideas because he's someone who's got this really large palette of sounds, and he did things that I just was so blown away by that. And then having that team of Andrew Freed tracking us and Eli Cruz mixing it, and we mixed it out here, and Eli lives in New York, and it was really fun to kind of just get all this stuff to work, and I'm really, really happy with where we got to with it,
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It really is, and
it's a great cast of characters he pulled together. Like, we saw, what was it, a couple years ago? We saw Skerrick
at High Sierra
with Reed Mathis playing with him, and it was amazing. He is a trip. Where there's times where the audience would just like, holy crap, just kind of staring like, what is he doing? Oh my God.
Was it people that you had played with before that you picked, or was it people that you were just interested in?
No, we've we did some gigs with Jeff and Ciro. We did a bunch of gigs about a year and a half ago, and we played with Jeff on and off as a guest, and we played with Skerrick on and off. With Skerrick, we've not done full tours. We just we'll play in the Northwest. He'll come and fit in. And Will's played with him more in doing his own thing. And I've just played on and off with Skerrick over the years, just in different little things here and there. But what Skerrick does musically and rhythmically, and he's a saxophone player. And often you think saxophone, he's just going to play the melody and then the saxophone's just going to play a long solo. And Skerrick doesn't like that. Skerrick is really likes playing almost like a guitar player in terms of playing little rhythmic figures or background figures. And then he likes going crazy and just, there's so much. He's really a unique voice on that instrument.
That's
really unique.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And it works. And it works with us. It's that's the thing. It's you find people that work musically and then it's going to be good. At this point, I think for me, at this point in my life, it's I'm pretty sure if it was bad, it would be, if it didn't work, it would be for some strange reason. You know what I mean?
And you would feel it too.
You'd feel it. But also I have to say that either all 3 of those guys that we had, if they felt like we asked them to do something and if we all listened and felt like it wasn't working, we would all agree on that. You know what I mean? More or less. I think in other words, we're all there's no egos. It's really not about that. It's about making music as good as it could be. And, everybody's willing to throw in ideas. That's another great thing about the 3 of those guys. They're not going to hold back their ideas. And whether it's something they want to play or some idea, something, you know, or the idea of like, you know what, I don't want to play on this tune because I think it doesn't need it. And I'm sort of that way too. It's like I'll be in a session and I'll be like the first one to say like, man, this does not need drums. Like listen to that, you know, and I've done that, and I just want to really, and you know, and I can be talked either way, and with that, you know what I mean? It's like someone might be like, but I want you to do this. I'm like, oh, I'll try it, but you know, but I really think that, you know what I mean? It's like
that's all. That shows a real respect for the music and like the piece,
and
to like back
maturity.
Out, to be like, you know what, it doesn't need me on this.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you just you none of us have anything to prove, and we're all trying to make the best music we can make, and you know, it's that's a really important thing.
Yeah, and you know, you said something earlier. You were like, bringing people into what you guys are doing and the fun of it. Is there a, I don't know, do you have like a way that you can explain that thing that you do? Is there a mission for a show for you to bring it people into?
Well, I think like it's I mean, there's like a grateful feeling of being able to be a musician and play music, and when people show up, you know what I mean? It's like I so appreciate that people come, and then I just want to I want it to be a really great time for everybody. I want to, you know, I just want to, this thing that we do, I think it's so powerful that we get to share it. And I just feel like, I don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? And, it's like, I think that musicians, you know, we work hard, at what we do, but like we get to do it. And not to say that the hard work we shouldn't get, you know, shouldn't pay off somehow, but it does. It's like, I feel I've just had this amazing life of being able to make great music and meeting people. And, you know, it's special. It's a really special thing. And I know that it's like a lot of us say like, oh man, we need it, you know, and it's like, and there's, I think some people that feel like, hey, I'm bringing this to somebody. It's like, you know, I need it too. And I want to, it's like, I just feel like I am grateful that I get to do it. And
that's,
you know, it's you know what I'm
saying? Yeah, I do know what you're saying. And the musicians that I've spoken to that say what you just said typically are my favorite musicians. And I don't know if that speaks to the attitude or what, but it seems like that thing that you're talking about, just having that gratitude and understanding that like, wow, I get to do this and people get to experience it. It facilitates something pure in the vibe of the music itself. It opens up a channel.
You know, years ago when I first started touring with Charlie, we were like on this long, we used to go on these long tours of the country for like, you know, months on end, and you keep going around and doing stuff. And the first time I played Salt Lake City, I'll never forget this. I had just had a bad night. I just had this like really it was just a night that, you know, for me, I just felt so bad for the people that came. I carried it with me for so long until I got back to Salt Lake City and got to play like in another show and feel like I redeemed myself to the people of Salt Lake City.
Like you made up for it.
I think it kind of sounds like ridiculous, but it was really kind of this moment of like, man, I feel so bad because I just played so horribly, and these people came out and they, you know what I mean? It was like, it was just a funny thing that I just, you know what I mean? It was just, I don't know how to, if that makes any sense, but it's like, you know, it was like, I don't know. I think it was because I remember on that tour when we were out, I was like 20 something, early 20s. And that's what I wanted to do. I remember we were driving somewhere and during the day, and I was sitting in the van, I was listening to some music, and I looked out the window and I was like, holy shit, I'm like doing the thing I've always wanted. I'm living this dream that I had. had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just like really hit me hard, like, you know, and it was just like, wow, this is pretty spectacular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that's huge to have that moment in any life. I think there's a lot of people that go through an entire lifetime and never find that, never have that.
Yeah.
And to be afforded that is one thing, but then to recognize it is a whole other ball of wax, man, because then I think that's what I'm talking about. It opens you up as far as like gratitude goes. And then something starts to happen, because now instead of taking from the thing, you're giving back to that muse.
Yeah.
That's a special place, man. That's a huge deal. And I wonder, my experience with music I'm a very active listener to music. I have always wondered what's behind the curtain, and that's kind of been like the mission of the show in one weird kind of a way, and talking to all of you guys, is that like what is that magic? And I think if you try and qualify it, it kind of loses its thing, as what I'm finding out as I've continued down the road. But what was it for you that, like, I know you said that it was your grandpa that kind of brought you into the world, but what drew you to drumming? What was the thing that made you decide that the drums was the way you wanted to go?
Again, it was like, it was in the makeup of me. Cause my mom says when I was like 18 months old, I would like grab chopsticks and like pots and pans and coffee cans, back when you had like those Folgers coffee cans or whatever. And I was just banging on stuff. And when she's like, you were just banging on stuff from like, when you were like a year and a half old, and you know, and she grew up around a musician. That was her dad was, you know, and so she kind of saw like that there was something kind of going on. And then I remember at one point, like kids in the neighborhood, we had this sort of fake band. And I remember there was like, another kid was like, I want to play the drums. And I was like, I'll play the guitar. And I remember thinking like, I don't want to play the guitar. I want to play the drums. You know what I mean?
Called it first.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it.
We were like, you know, we were like 7.
Right.
And I was like thinking like, you know, like I'm going to play the drums. And it was just like this sort of goofy thing that we did. But it just always felt, it just felt like
you.
Someday I can't even explain it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just felt like me. It's like I have, you know, I'm a father. I have 2 kids, and I just, you know, and you just think like, what are your kids going to do? What are they going to, you know? And makes me think of how at a young age, you couldn't stop me from being a musician. You couldn't, there was no way. And I sort of feel for my parents in that way of like the fear of like, you know, it's potentially not a really easy life, you know, it can be really rough.
Yeah.
And, you know, can you support yourself? What else are you going to do if you know, blah, 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 or, you know, and it's like, you know, I mean, you couldn't stop me. It was just, you know, it's like you could try to reason with me about it, but I just wouldn't listen. This is what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have kids too, and I'm a grandparent. And
oh, wow.
And I know what you're talking about. And I think if my son came to me and said he was going to be a musician, I would do anything to help him get there. Were your parents supportive of it?
They were. They saw this dedication I had,
right?
And it was more and my grandfather was the successful musician,
right?
But they saw this dedication. They had certain worry, just because parents worry, and they, you know, it's not like you can. I think part of it is just that idea of like, you can't just get a job as a musician like you can in a lot of other trades. You know what I mean? It's
right.
like, you know, it's like, I can't go, look, I graduated from Berklee College of Music and you have to hire me. It's like, it doesn't work like that. It's like, you know, so they, you know, and then I moved all the way to the other side of the country. And they're just like, what the hell is he going to do now? You know what I mean? It's like, and so, but they were, you know, they saw that I was working hard, and then I went to music school, and then I worked, like, after the first couple of weeks of sort of letting off some steam at college when I went to Berkeley, I started practicing 12 hours a day, and I did that for 2 years. Like, and then I started, and then I couldn't practice 12 hours a day because I was just playing more. You know, I was practicing like 6 hours a day, and then just playing all day long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just worked my butt off, you know, and I just like, again, it's like you kind of couldn't stop me, you know?
Now, I'm curious about something too. I was going to bring it up a minute ago when you're talking about playing with Charlie Hunter. I love the 4 EPs. It makes sense, like Cole Porter and Duke Ellington, but then it was like, hey, I love like the jazz treatment given to Hank Williams and the Cars. It was like Good Times. I mean, those are special. Did you record those all like in one? Because I know it's 4 different EPs, but it's all the same year, and kind of, were those all done at the same time?
Yeah, what's funny is we spent 2 days at the bunker in New York, and we recorded all of those, and then we recorded about 8 other songs, like, which are somewhere on a hard drive. And we recorded all, like, you know, kind of, you could say direct, like live 2-track, where the engineer Dave McNair was just kind of mixing it live, but yeah, I mean, no headphones, just the two of us also facing each other, and just like you know, because that's a sort of this is a long relationship of just a lot of playing and real deep connection. You know what I mean? So it's easy for us. And that was Charlie's idea to like make all these EPs with those 4 guys.
Well, I love that, like, especially the Cars. I mean, Cars and Hank Williams, who would think Hank Williams doing a jazz treatment to it, and it came out. I mean, it comes out beautifully.
Thank you very much.
You talk about practicing 12 hours a day, and I don't think I've ever done anything 12 hours a day except breathe, and that's really speaks to what you're talking about, man, about how it's just you, it's in your DNA. It's almost sounds to me like it's something that needs to get out, that's inside all the time. Does it feel like that?
Yeah, I think it's true. It's, you know, it's like there's just constantly things I think about that I want to do, and you know, back then when I was practicing, you know, I was trying to learn. You're trying to learn, trying to sound like something. You're trying to catch this thing, or you know, learn this rhythm, or learn this groove, or work on this piece, or whatever. And I was just so interested in so many things, and so sitting in the practice room and working on whatever I was working on that day. It could be, you know, like one idea or one thing for hours, you know, and then moving on to something else, or, you know, there was there's always a lot going on in my head, actually, just like ideas and things, which I'm grateful for. It's like, I'm so happy that I am still inspired and excited, and, you know, like everything, you need a break from stuff every now and then, but I, you know, you can never learn it all, which is the beauty of life, you know. It's like
there's no end.
Yeah, you always have to be open to learning. Yeah, and open to people, and open to, you know, I mean, it's like I have these great musical relationships, and then there's sort of new ones that occasionally come along that are exciting, and it's great, you know. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's just, I'm excited about where it's going, you know, and yeah.
Go ahead, Apple.
Well, that's one of my favorite things to see which I mean, definitely with jazz and, you know, all the jam bands, is being a spectator when you catch those moments between the musicians on stage when you guys like where you're like pushing each other, and then you like you look over at your friend on stage and he just played something that just makes you like kind of chuckle and smile, like holy shit. And then it's just amazing to see that happen and to see it, I mean, created right in front. It's like, you know, like a painting being created right in front of you. And it's just amazing to see that in the improv music. Because, I mean, like you said, I love ACD. I've seen AC/DC like 7 times. I love bands like that, but it's kind of, you know, it's getting out there playing the hits, and it's the same thing again and again, which is also awesome, but there's just not that life in it, that the unexpected, what's going to happen next all the time.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. It's the unexpected and the excitement of where it can go, and the laughing, and then there can be intense moments, or like playing with Nels Cline has been a huge education.
In what way?
In someone who sees music, I've learned so much from how there are no boundaries with Nels, and when some people like he'll say, well, one of the connections with the two of us, I remember him saying this during an interview or something when someone was asking, was like, oh, we have this sound, like there's a sound connection. I do some pedals and I make, do this like looping and ambient sound and stuff. But in general, it's just like when I play the drums, there's just like this sound component, and working with him, it's like I was able to really expand on that and work on that. And it's like that person that you meet that finds that thing in you and helps you get it out,
Yeah. Something you didn't know.
Or something, it's like something you didn't know, or something maybe subconsciously you were working on, or you knew, or you just couldn't, and for me, it's like, all these people that I've played with, like I've gotten to explore a lot of that, and it's just opened me up and helped, propel me into being myself,
So you said your grandfather got to see you doing your thing, right?
Yep.
And your parents?
Uh-huh. They come into the play with me.
That dude, to me, like, okay, great, there's a huge hall of people that are there to see you play. That to me seems like the pinnacle, to have your grandfather or your parents there and be able to show them completely, fully, and totally what they fostered. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this
Absolutely,
is the thing, man. This is what you did. You did this. Like, that's
this one's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. No, they love it. They mostly love it. I say that because definitely like my wife, there's some weird music when she's just like, I don't like that. It's like, cool.
Oh shit.
And it just makes me laugh. It's just like, it's like, yeah, well, you don't have to like that. You don't like everything. It's like, you don't love everything about me. You love a lot of things.
Right. My wife is usually on the show with us. She's absent today, but she would agree.
Yeah, she'd back that up 100%.
It's cool. It's cool. And with my parents, there's like certain things I do that they absolutely love. And certain things like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's interesting, and then other things are like, yeah, not my thing. But it's cool. It's but yeah, they've gotten to see a lot of stuff. I mean, it's great. I was really happy that my grandfather got to come out and see, and he was really proud. He used to take me to jam sessions and just like he's like, get up there, just like really force me to. Yeah. It was cool. He was really, really encouraging.
So is there anything that you're working on now that you're super excited about?
Yeah, I've been trying to do some writing. And I mean, there's always like some projects in my head Like one of the things I want to do is I want to do a solo thing. I'm going to probably do a show in June in Colorado playing solo. But in terms of, the Nels Cline Singers is a band that has a record in the can that hopefully is going to come out next year. And there's just a lot of little projects and things here that I'm doing that I'm trying to write for, or can hopefully record next year. And but also with Will and I, we're trying to get our thing out there more. That's kind of, it's like we love playing, and we're trying to kind of get in front of more people and just get it so that we can do it more, because we really enjoy it.
That's what I was going to add. I saw like on your guys' site, it just has one, and it shows you're playing a show in Brooklyn Bowl in January.
Yeah.
And I imagine you got more plans to take it on the road next year.
Yeah. We're working on some Midwest stuff, and we want to, we do. We're trying Colorado. And, it's we're trying that a lot. We're trying to get it out there, It's the tricky thing about this music, it's just hard. And we have family, so it's not like, and the business is different, it's like hard to just go on the road for 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no private jet waiting on an airstrip.
Right.
Yeah, I got you, man. Everybody that I've turned on to you guys is like, how the fuck did I not know about this? Like, how did? So we'll do our part wherever we can, because, like you said, if the goal is to bring fun and happiness and that thing out there, it needs to be out there even more. And it speaks to the power of music itself to be able to do that for people, especially with everything that's going on in the world. And it's so freaking important right now to have that moment to step outside of that and just have fun with the people that you love.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true, and we really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Man. It's the least we could do. I mean, I'm sitting on my own porch talking to you. You spent 12 hours a day in music school. You know what I mean, man? The scales are tipped way in the other direction. So, it's the least we can do. But yeah, man. And if is there one song off of that new album that you would want us to play at the beginning of the episode? What would it be?
God, that's a good question.
Well, and can we? Yeah, we have permission to.
Yeah, you can play anything you want.
Okay.
If there's a song that you guys feel really connected with that you want to start with,
okay,
I think you should do that.
All right. Okay. I like that answer. That's perfect. Yeah,
then it'll be a surprise to you too.
Yeah,
as well as us.
Totally.
There you go.
Totally.
Hey, man, I'll just say from all of us, whenever you guys are putting anything out or have anything to say, you've got a home here. I appreciate you taking the time with us, brother.
And if you guys make it up here to Portland, Pacific Northwest, then you got a place up here to come hang out and visit up. We got a nice place. We put up people several times to give a little home, home to people while they're on the road.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, we will be back. I love Portland.
Right on. I can't wait, man. Scott, I appreciate you taking the time with us, man.
Especially this time of year. We were out Christmas shopping. This is a busy time of year to be able to take a chance. It's nice for us today to be able to sit down on the patio and do this with you also.
Yeah.
To kind of okay, let's take a breather from the traffic and the shopping and the hustle and bustle.
You got kids.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys caring and putting the time into this and supporting the music in general and as a whole for all everybody that's out there. And it's great. It's really great.
Thanks, Scott. You guys, I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you celebrate, man. And
celebrate life.
When you're ready to talk again, you just say the word and we'll have you back.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. All right. You have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Apple.
Hi, Aaron.
What's up?
What's up? That was cool, man.
He's fucking rad.
He is rad, and their music is rad. I was thinking about today when we were out in the hustle and bustle. I was just going to say that to him, but we were wrapping up.
What?
Their music makes a great soundtrack to the hustle and bustle. We were sitting at the Trader Joe's parking lot when you went in, and Ryder just laid back in the back seat, and I was playing their music, and like all the hecticness going around, people with the shopping carts, and it adds a tranquility to it. It almost orchestrates it. Like all of a sudden, the hecticness kind of makes sense with the jazz music playing. It was funny.
You know, man, and this happens a lot when we talk to people that make the music that we listen to, is that there's a deeper level of understanding for the thing after you talk to them. And obviously that's gonna happen with this. But but it just makes sense in hearing, like, such a sweet heart.
Yes.
On him.
And so concerned about like that, like he said about the Salt Lake City thing. We've heard that several times from musicians where they feel so.
I can't imagine that.
I bet too.
Well, yeah, I can.
I bet too. Like the crowd that was there, they may have maybe sense, but most likely not.
Well, I forgot to say there was probably one guy in that was like, that was the best show I ever saw in my whole life.
Total improv and different. Yeah. But to have that kind of heart where you feel bad, like carry that with you for a year, like until you return the next
get
year,
to pay
like,
it back.
I'm gonna make this up to these people. I slighted them.
I wish we could find a recording of that show. The second.
Well, we've heard that before too, where they would show, I mean, even like the
Jerry
Grateful
said
Dead,
that,
yeah, they thought they just like a train wreck of a show, and then the fans are like, that is one of the best shows ever. It was,
or they listen back to the recording afterwards, and it's the shit.
They're like, what the? I didn't think I sounded like that. I thought I blew it.
Well, it's such a in the moment thing. Playing music is such an in the moment thing all by itself that it would be hard to accurately judge what the hell is happening as a whole.
Especially, I forget, we talked to somebody about that before, like that you can't always be on, and when you've signed contracts and you got to play that gig,
you got paid already.
Like I forget who it was, we were talking like, sometimes, like what if you have diarrhea or the flu or something.
I think Adam,
and you get out there and it's still and you're like, in your mind it's just complete crap because you feel like crap, but then something else comes out of it and it's like, holy crap, maybe I should be sick more sometimes. It like took me somewhere else.
Well, everybody out there, check out Amendola versus Blades.
Yeah, Amendola, and then check out the both of them. They have a lot of solo things. They've played with a lot of different cats. I mean, there's a lot of different jazz ensembles they've done. I was watching today. They played with John Scofield Trio. And that's what's beautiful about this music, the improv. They invite, it's like open stage.
It's a community
to all of them. It's like, hey, come on up, friend, let's play.
That's the other thing that he said that I really keyed in on. It was you can't really put a name on this, man. I mean, if you open up Amendola versus Blades on Apple Music, it's gonna say jazz, but this is more than
beyond.
That. Yeah,
beyond jazz.
It's language is too small. There isn't a word for this. There just isn't. And a lot of the music that we listen to, it's jam music. Well, okay,
that's a very broad.
That's painting a very broad swipe across what this actually is. This is okay. I'm trying to find a word for it, but this is experiential music. You're taking part in a moment in time of feeling between people. And I guess that's not a word. That's a lot of words. So,
yeah.
that's a lot of fucking words together, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, and I like that. And I was going to bring that up too in the beginning when he's talking, the way they set up facing each other. As a spectator of that, to me, it kind of feels almost like you're peeking in on something private. Like they're having I don't know if he's ever heard of it that way, but it's like peeking over their shoulder at what they're creating. Like you're
looking in the window at them jamming in their house.
Yeah. Or the studio or something. It gives a different aspect. It makes it more, I guess, well, not interesting. Well,
intimate.
Intimate, interesting. You're like, ooh, I want to peek in and see what's happening here.
You get to be a musical voyeur.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody out there, go check them out because it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth your time. And it is the holidays and all that. I guess, this will come out maybe the week of Christmas, I think. And this is great music to put on in the morning when you're opening presents, or while you're having dinner, or while you're just hanging out in the living room, or while you're driving.
It brings tranquility to me when I'm driving and I put on jazz.
You need it. You need tranquility when you're driving,
well,
brother.
That's why we love our jazz station up here. Was it 89?
Not K-Boo.
Forget it. Dang.
Whatever. Yeah.
Awesome.
KMHD.
Yeah, 89.1.
Yeah. Everybody that doesn't live in Portland is like, so what, idiots? Shut up. I don't care. I can't listen to that.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that one. All right, guys. So be nice to each other out there. Have a great holiday. Whatever holiday you're celebrating, celebrate it with joy and gratitude. Gratitude is the thing that opens the channel. It's more and more I'm getting that message from the universal mind.
Yeah, and have a cookie party. We just did, and just beware of all the cookies.
Yeah, because then you'll end up like Ryder.
Sneak up on you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in a cookie coma.
All right. We love you guys. We'll see you next week with more stuff. Smile at a stranger. Take care of each other.
Keep on listening.
And hydrate. Safety third. Dress like an elf.
Yep.
Kiss
people under the mistletoe.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's that time of year.
All right. I got you, man. It's fine.
All right. Bye, people.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road.
Shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Osiris.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.